Hello viewers, welcome to this session. I am going to talk about a very interesting poem. The title of this poem is Look a Stranger by W.H. Auden. W.H. Auden was a great English poet of the modern age. He was born on 21st February 1907 in York, London, England, and he died on 29th September 1973 at the age of 66. W.H. Auden wrote many interesting poems, beautiful poems. His poems give a good account of nature. In the early phase of his life, he was deeply influenced by Karl Marx and Friday. His poetry bears the influences of Karl Marx and Friday. W.H. Auden got education at Oxford, Christ College, Oxford. Now let me talk about the present poem, Look a Stranger. The background to this poem. One day, the poet goes to the sea coast in the early morning, about 5 a.m. He goes to the sea coast along the south of England. It is Dover Beach or Dover Cliff. The poet looks at the beautiful scene and sight of the sea. The poet addresses someone as a stranger. Look a stranger, this island. The poet addresses an imaginary person as a stranger. There are some critics who hold that the poet addresses himself as a stranger. The poem begins thus: Look a stranger on this island now, the leaping light for your delight discovers. Stand a stable here and silent be, that through the channels of the ear may wander like a river the swaying sounds of the sea. The poet says that, oh, a stranger, look at this island. It is early morning. The sun rays is falling upon the waves of the sea. So there is leaping light on the waves of the sea, the leaping light for your delight, and it is very delightful, it is very beautiful to look at. The leaping light for your delight discovers. The stranger discovers a very beautiful scene and sight there. Stand stable here and silent be. He says that the stranger should stand there stable and he should watch the beauty of nature, the scene and sight of nature silently. Stand stable. Here we have alliteration. Alliteration is a figure of a speech in which two or more words have the similar vowel sound. Stand, stable, so they are alliterative. That through the channels of the ear may wander like a river. The poet says that melodious sound comes out of the sea and it goes into the channels of the ear, through the holes of the ears. The swimming sound of the sea. The second stanza. Here a small field's ending pouch, where the chalk wall falls to the foam, and its tall ledges oppose the pluck and knock of the tide, and the single scrambles after the sucking surf, and the gull lodges a moment on its sheer side. In the second stanza of the poem, the poet says that the stranger hears a swaying sound of the sea, beautiful sound of the sea, and it is a small place. It is a seashore. Here at a small field's ending pouch. It is a small field's ending where the chalk wall falls to the foam and the waves are dashing against the walls of the rock. As a result, the chalk of the walls falls down to the foam of the sea, and its tall ledges oppose the pluck, and the small stones oppose the pluck and knock of the tide, and the single scrambles after the sucking surf. When the waves dash against the rocks, the rocks break into a small pieces. Single means pebble, and pebbles go forward and backward because of the tide of the sea, and the single scrambles up after the sucking surf, and a gull lodges a moment for its sheer side. Gull means a seaward. A seaward stays there, lodges there for a moment on the standing on the side of the seashore. The third stanza of the poem and the last stanza of the poem. Far off like floating seeds, the ships diverge on urgent voluntary errands, and this full view indeed may enter and move in memory as now these clouds do that pass the harbor mirror and all the summer through the water saunter. In the last stanza of the poem, the poet says that many ships are coming and going on the bosom of the sea. They are going to different countries, and these ships seem to be like floating seeds on the bosom of the sea, and they diverge on the urgent voluntary errands over the harbor of the sea. And this full view indeed may enter and move in memory as now these clouds do. And these pleasant scenes and sights go into the mind of the stranger people, and they remind them of this pleasant scene and sight at the present time and even in the time to come. Here we are reminded of the Wordsworth's last stanza of the Daffodils, where he says that the scene and sight of daffodils gives him pleasure when he is in pensive mood. In the same way, W.H. Auden says that the scene and sight of the harbor and the sea reminds the poet of the delight, the joy, the beauty of the sea. Above in the sky, the clouds are moving, and these moving clouds get reflected upon the water of the harbor that pass the harbor mirror. The poet says that this harbor is like a mirror, just as mirror reflects face. In the same way, the mirror reflects the floating waters in the sky that pass the harbor mirror and all the summer through the water saunter. The poet says that the clouds move here and there, and they get reflected over the water of the sea. Thus the poem gives a beautiful account of the scene and sight of the place of the seashore. The poem has 3 stanzas. Each stanza has 7 lines, and the 4th line of each stanza rhymes with the 7th line of each stanza. The poem is very musical. It is composed in blank verse. Thanks a lot.